That is a state. It's a sthiti, like awakened state, enlightened state. This is a state where your heart flowers and you just feel that love for anyone, that even plants and animals, you just feel that love. That is when your heart chakra has flowered. You will not experience it otherwise. So if you're feeling love for just your people or someone you love, that is not the flowering of the heart. Your heart chakra has to be flowered. Now, what happens when the heart chakra goes on the fast and the slow mode? When the heart chakra goes on the fast mode, you become, I mean, I don't know, you will agree with me on this, you become possessive. When it's in the fast mode, you are possessive. I have handled so many cases where husband-wife marriages are almost on the verge of breaking because of this possessiveness. They're checking each other's phones and messages and WhatsApps and things like that and finding out. So many mothers are obsessed about where their children are going. I told you to come at 11, you not come. You call them up every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. But when you talk to them, they say, no, we love them so much. But ask that person, does he really want so much of your love, which is stifling? So it's fine, it's good to love, but don't be stifling. That is being in the you're possessive. On the other hand, when it goes slow, what happens? You're stone-hearted. So you're two extremes. Stone-hearted person just doesn't care for anyone, no one. He just doesn't care. You could be dying in front of him, he would not bother. So either way, these conditions are not great conditions. So you have to come to the virtue where your heart chakra is flowered and you feel the unconditional love. Let's move on to the throat. And the heart chakra is green in color, by the way. And the throat is blue in color. It's the sky blue, the turquoise blue, that color, the whole throat chakra. The throat chakra stands for speaking, expressing in the outside world. But internally, it stands for acceptance or surrender. When you have come to the throat chakra, you are at a very high spiritual level. So throat chakra stands for acceptance and surrender. I usually tell them first start with acceptance. It's very difficult for a person to start even accepting certain things about other people. That acceptance doesn't come so easily. Surrender, we surrender only to the divine. Surrender is where no questions are asked. You are told to do this and you will do this. Even there is no question, there's no other thought. I've been told, I'll do it. Finished. Over. Matter over. But that state is a much higher state. So first I would say start doing the acceptance thing. Okay. So now when this goes on the slow mode and the fast mode, when it goes on the slow mode, you are in the state of मजबूरी में किसी चीज को accept करते हैं ना, that is what it is. When you are forced to accept certain things, when you do it because you got to do it, you don't have another choice. That is when you're going in the fast mode. You don't have a choice and you have to accept. Like certain things are, we say that all the time. What choice did I have? I have to accept the situation. So you're accepting it unwillingly. That is not acceptance. That is not acceptance. When you say, okay, I don't have a choice, I have to do it. It's okay, forget it. I'll accept it. This attitude is not acceptance. This you're doing it because you don't have a choice. Acceptance means, no problem, I accept whatever you say. I accept the situation the way it is. Okay? I hope I'm making myself clear on this. You can ask me questions later on if I'm not very clear on this. And if it goes in the slow mode, you go in this mode of a why mode, WHY, why. Like there are people who constantly ask, why me? Now, there are two types of whys people ask. One is a fundamental why, and the other is a functional why. Fundamental why is when you ask these questions like, what is God? Who is God? Who has seen God? What are the five elements? How can you prove all these things? How can you prove there is energy? All these kind of vague questions. People, you do get into that state when you, at one point in time, you ask all these kind of questions because you don't get answers. And my dear friends, you will not get answers to these questions because there are no answers to these questions. You will never know what the divine is. He's unknowable, not unknown. He's unknowable. The divine power is unknowable. So don't get into these kind of questioning all the time. Why this, why that? Because there are no answers. All our saints and gurus and rishis and all are sitting for thousands of years trying to find out answers of these questions about life, and no one has got these answers because there are no answers to this question. And if you remain stuck at this, you'll stagnate. Your growth will stop. But on the other hand, you have to ask a functional why. Functional why is, if you don't ask this functional why, you will not grow in technology today. You would have not grown from using Flintstones to electric cooker, gas, this cookers or whatever we use, or even a phone. Back in the days, many centuries ago, in the Stone Age, pigeon used to take one letter from here to there. Today, if somebody had told me about 40 years ago that you will get such a small device in your hand where you can connect to the entire world in a jiffy, I would have said, rubbish. Are you mad? So, had that why not been asked today, we would have not come to this stage of technology. Nobody writes letters nowadays. On an email from here to there takes 1 second to go. See, today I'm connected to the whole world sitting over here in the comforts of my house. Who thought of all these? So that functional why has to be used. That is for your evolution, your growth. Okay? Then we go to the third eye chakra. The most exciting chakra. Everybody is very excited about this third eye thing. And everybody wants to open the third eye. Third eye stands for wisdom or intellect. Here I would like to explain a little more on this. To reach to the third eye or the opening of the third eye, you don't need degrees. You don't need to do so many modalities. You don't need anything. You just have to be connected to the source. All our Sant Mirabais and Kabirs and Surdases were not educated people. They were the ones who reached that state. So if you think that I have done so many degrees and I have no Sanskrit, I know the Bhagavad Gita from cover to cover, every shloka I know, it's okay to know. But that knowing has to become your experience, which is your wisdom, which is your intellect. It's fine to know. We need to know because we are people who like to read things like and all that. But all that reading has to become your experience. And that is wisdom and that is intellect. What happens when it goes on the fast mode? When it goes on the fast mode, you get a spiritual ego. Now, this is even more dangerous than your normal individual ego. Spiritual ego, you have to be very careful about. Spiritual ego is when you stop being a learner in your life, when you are not a learner anymore in your life. You may be very well or very high spiritually fine, but you've got to be a learner. If you want to evolve, you've got to be a learner. You have to be humble. That humility has to be in you. If it is not there, you will stagnate. Your growth, spiritual growth will stagnate. You will stop there. If you think, what is this person going to tell me about chakras? Oh, I have no chakras in the past 35 years. No, it's not like that. Every day from every person, today also with the question answer, I learn from every chakra class much more than what I give my students. So you've got to be a learner. That humility must be there in you. That is your test of your third eye chakra. Now what happens when it goes in the slow mode? When it goes in the slow mode, you start hallucinating. You may have heard of people saying, oh, I can see Shiva here and I can see Ganeshji here and I can see certain things. I can see somebody's death. I can see somebody's this, all that. And if it goes a little more beyond that, people might even term you as a schizophrenic or a bipolar. Lot of schizophrenics and bipolars are not actually schizophrenic and bipolars. It is because they're hallucinating. Accidentally, it can happen. Actually, literally by an accident, can cause the Kundalini to jump up and come here and open your third eye without your lower chakras imbalanced or activated at all. And it comes and gets stuck here because it doesn't know how to go down because the chakras are blocked. And Kundalini Shakti, of which I will talk a little later, Kundalini Shakti is a very, very powerful serpent energy. Your body has to be at that stage for the Kundalini to rise up because it goes against the gravity. So unless you do your chakra meditation, then you make path for that Kundalini to rise up, it will not. And I always tell this to all my students, whoever is listening about chakras, do not be in a hurry to open your third eye. It will open and it has to open by default once your chakras are aligned. The Kundalini is waiting to come up. Please do not jump the queue. Please do not jump the queue. It will open once you do your chakra meditation. And we don't know, or I would not be able to say where your chakras are at the moment. So don't say, oh, I've been doing it for a month and I've been doing it for 2 months. No, it is your lifetime thing. You just have to do it all your life, period. And after the third eye opens, every person gets a boon. Every human being gets a boon. Which boon will be your purpose of your life? If you want to know what your purpose of your life is, that's your boon. So that is about the third eye chakra. Then we go to the crown chakra. Now, crown chakra is evaluated only after you leave your physical body. But the crown chakra stands for oneness, where you see the whole world. You and the world are not separate. Everything is all within you. Now, that's a very, very, very high state. So there isn't much spoken about this. It is, though we meditate on it, but there is no going fast and slow in the crown chakra, Sahasrara chakra. Now I'll talk about the Kundalini a little bit. Kundalini is situated near your Muladhara chakra, near your root chakra, and it goes against the force of gravity. Kundalini Shakti is golden in color. It's a golden colored fluid which comes up. And the Shakti, which is at the root, and here is Shiva. The Kundalini Shakti is trying to reach the Shiva. Every time when you leave your physical body, the Kundalini Shakti quietly goes and enters into somebody's body with the hope that this body will help me meet my Shiva. So it is mandatory for us to let our Kundalini Shakti meet her Shiva. She's been waiting to do that. And because our chakras are blocked, she cannot reach that stage. Now, a peak state of a person is when the Kundalini Shakti reaches the Shiva and both of them together have a cosmic dance in the higher chakras. Higher chakras, the heart, throat, third eye. They do a cosmic dance. This is a peak state. Now, you can't remain in that state all the time because you're not functional.